So today the gospel is taken from the Beatitudes. The Beatitudes, of course, we know, these are the blueprint to true happiness, as what is recorded in St. Luke's Gospel. All of us, so long as we are human beings, we seek for happiness in life. To be human means to be happy. And therefore, there is nothing wrong in seeking happiness. In fact, that is God's desire for each one of us. But where is happiness found? This is where today the scripture readings help us to discern clearly the true source and cause of happiness. When we read the Beatitudes, many of us will find it difficult to accept what Jesus said. Simply his values goes against the values of the world and our own values. And perhaps some of us, when we read the Beatitudes, we might think that these are very impractical advice or principles that the Lord has delineated for us, for those who look for happiness. But with the help of the Spirit of God, perhaps we can look at these Beatitudes in a way with an enlightened mind and see the truth of what Jesus is teaching us in today's gospel. It is clear, therefore, that for many of us, we think, for example, that happiness is found in wealth and riches. They can make our life comfortable and make our life easy with everything that is provided for us. Yet, to think that riches and wealth can bring us happiness is an illusion, because in the first place, we will never have enough of wealth and riches. Even billionaires in the world wants to be more and more rich. They want to have more money. And there is no end, actually, to the pursuit of riches and wealth. And of course, for those of us who have riches and wealth, it does not mean to say they are truly happier than others who have not. And this is because with wealth and riches, it also comes with other related issues of envy, of jealousy, of people trying to manipulate us, and also the responsibility of being good stewards of the riches and wealth the Lord has given to us. That is why those people who are rich and wealthy, they might have all that they need, and yet they are not truly happy, because there are many competitors and people who will try to make our lives difficult. And of course, with all the wealth and riches, we remain insecure. No one is made secure by riches and wealth. In fact, if you have a lot of wealth, then you have to worry how to keep them, how to grow the money, how to make sure the money will not be lost. So many things, There was this rich man, The neighbors were making so much noise, and his rich man has no peace. He was staying next to the poor man's house. And so one day he said, I know what to do. He went over and gave him a big bag of gold. He gave to the man. The poor man, he said, you keep this big bag of gold. And the poor man said, for me? Yes, it's for you. For you. What must I do? Nothing. I just give it to you. And the man said, are you sure? Yes, it's all for you, all for you. You don't have to pay me anything, don't have to do anything. And the poor man was so happy, suddenly got so much money. And so now he began to think, where to keep the money, because so many thieves around. So every weekend, his grandchildren and his brothers and sisters would visit him, and the house was very noisy. And then he has a great fear, where to keep this money? So many people coming to the house. So he says, should I keep it under the pillow? And he said, no. He kept it the pillow. Then he woke up, cannot, not safe enough. Then he said, maybe put under the bed. Then he went back to sleep. Then he said, oh, at night people might come and steal. Cannot. Then he said, where to keep? Maybe keep in the kitchen. Then he said, no. In the kitchen, cooking, they might one day discover. Maybe I should put it on the rooftop. On the rooftop. Then if there's a rain, how? All these things. So he began to be very worried, very anxious. Every day cannot eat, cannot sleep. And then began, when his grandchildren come, he said, don't disturb me, I got so many things to think about. And there was no peace. And then suddenly the grandchildren stopped coming, nobody came, and the house was very quiet. That was what the rich man wanted. The house was very quiet. He was left alone with his money. Nobody came to disturb him. Then he says, my life is so lonely. What happened to all my grandchildren? They used to come, we used to have lots of fun. Then one day this man said, enough. Let me bring back this bag of gold to the rich man. He said, you keep it. I don't want. The rich man, why not? Take it. And no. No, thank you, This one has brought away all the joy that I used to have. So at the end of the day, honestly, wealth and riches can be good, but actually, if it does not serve its purpose, then it destroys us. And same thing too, when Jesus in the Gospel says, happy you are hungry now, you shall be satisfied. Yes, it's good to have good food, wine, to dine well, etc. and so on. But if you don't take care of your health, you are going to be done in for good, You can have plenty, you can eat, enjoy, but you will shorten your life. You can drink, then you get drunk, and things will happen. You destroy your family. So too, Jesus says, happy you are weeping now, therefore you shall laugh. Yeah, those of us, if we are laughing and so on, we think life is great, a time will come when we'll not be able to face the sorrows, the difficulties of life. That's why those people who are brought up with a silver or golden spoon in their mouth, when a lot of challenges comes into their life, they cannot take it. Once you have gone through hard times, you have been molded, you have been trained, and you can take challenges. But you see, those people who never suffered before, then they will have to pay a price. And same thing too for those people who want to be famous, we want to be well known. All these things, actually, we know they do not last. That is why those people, they are in some social status, because they are businessmen, or because of some positions they are in. The moment when you lose these positions, you are nobody. You're just like any one of people. So what is life? All these things cannot stay. Your office will not stay with you. Your position will not stay with you. And so when you don't have all these things, can you still be happy? That is the point. Actually, you can be happier if you live an ordinary life. An ordinary life don't have all these trappings. You don't have to worry about what people say of you, what people think of you. You have the freedom to do what you want to do. And so that is why today, the first reading, St. Paul says, you have been brought back to life with Christ. You must look for the things that are in heaven. Let your thoughts be on heavenly things, not on the things that are on the earth. What does he mean? Simply, he is asking us to live a transcendent life. That is why you must kill everything in you that belongs only to earthly life. Transcendent life. What does a transcendent life mean to us? A transcendent life means to go for the ultimate, not the transient, not the appearances. What do I mean by this? What I mean is that the transcendent values of life, what are these? In Galatians chapter 5, verse 22, St. Paul says, the fruits of the Spirit are joy, love, peace, generosity, kindness, patience. These are the things that make us happy in life. These are the transcendent values. And therefore, it's not to say that earthly things are bad. They are good. But you need to use them in such a way that will bring you and help you to arrive at these transcendent values. So the earthly things, the worldly things, they are good insofar as they are means. So if you have wealth and riches, it is not bad. But how do you use them in such a way that it will bring you joy, meaning, purpose? It will make you feel happy. If you use all the riches and wealth to accumulate and for yourself, you become a very stingy, and therefore all stingy people are misers, and therefore they are miserable. And they always think about themselves. So, but if you use your wealth and riches for others and to celebrate with people, to make people happy, wow, the great joy to know that this wealth is being used to bring happiness to others. When we bring happiness to others, we bring happiness to ourselves. It's the same thing too. When we are using the things of this world, if we use them in such a way that they can truly bring us unity and harmony, that is what makes us happy. That's why St. Paul says, you must kill everything that belongs only to earthly life. Fornication, impurity, guilty passion, evil desires, especially greed, which is the same thing as worshipping a false god. When we worship ourselves, we have no happiness in life. When we worship ourselves, St. Paul says what will happen? You lose your self-control. You lose your freedom. You become agey, irritable. You have a bad conscience. You feel guilty all the time. And that is why you become angry, bad temper. You're spiteful. You use abusive language and dirty talk and tell lies and so on to protect yourself. Are you happy? You're not happy. You can have all these worldly things, but in the end, you find that you become so miserable. Your life becomes one of spitefulness. You are envious. You are jealous. You are competitive. You just want to destroy others. You want to put others down. With all the wealth, with all the status, can you say that you have attained the transcendent values of life? So let us be clear. If the earthly things you have does not help you to attain that goal, which is the transcendent values of the gospel, then it's not worth having them. Then you need to reorient it. You need to see it in the positive, in a more holistic light. And that is what St. Paul says, you must put on a new self, which will progress towards true knowledge, being renewed in the image of God. And he concludes by saying, there is only Christ. He is everything. When you see Christ in everything that we do, you find joy. You find peace. Can you see Christ in everything that you do? In the work. So it's not again working. Work is a means. This is not the end itself. It's not why work hard, I get promoted. No. Work is a means to find life, to give life to others. Work is a means to develop yourself. Work is a means to help to grow the community, the society. Then you find your work meaningful. So it's not the work itself. Work is only a means. So again, back to the same question, can you see Christ in everything that you do? In your work, in your relationship, in taking care of the elders, in your wealth, in your riches, in your status? Do you see Christ in everything? And to see Christ in everything that you do means to say all these things must be used to attain these beatitudes, these values that Jesus has spoken to us in the gospel.